with 21st century parenting and challenges. Parenting in the 21st century is no doubt a journey filled with unique challenges and opportunities, from the influence of technology, social media, peer pressure, evolving family structures, modern values. So today's parents are in a fix, trying to balance this parenting, if I put it in a quote. But today I have someone who is a professional in this field who would be taking us through what 21st century parenting is really all about. And joining the conversation this morning is Dr. Olayinka Okubote. She is a relationship counselor. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Joy. Nice to be on the show with you.
Joy is fine.
Okay. Thank you, Joy.
Right.
I'm glad to be on the show with you.
It's a pleasure to have you join us.
Okay.
Okay, so let's dig it right in. 21st century parenting. What does that really mean? And how does it differ from parenting of 30 years ago?
Okay, when you talk about 21st century parenting, it is just a modern way of raising children in the world of technological advancement, in the world of changing in social and cultural norms. That is all just it. And it is different from the parenting, let me say, in our days or 30 years ago, because of the uniqueness. Or maybe before I dive into that, can you quickly permit me to define what parenting is all about? Anytime we hear the word parenting, it is a process of nurturing, not just nurturing. It is a process of training, not just training. It is a process of raising a child from birth to adulthood. It is, I usually refer to it as an uptax year. It is far more beyond just providing the basic need for a child. When we talk about the basic need, what am I talking about? It's more than just providing food, shelter, or paying the child's school fees. You have to support the child emotionally, mentally, and psychologically. Now coming back to this generation parenting, it is unique in the sense that we are in the era of technology. Technology has come to stay, and it comes with its challenges. For parents, balancing life with work, balancing career with parental responsibility is a great challenge. And for the children as well, cyberbullying, online safety, peer pressure, and all of this put together, it is posing a lot of challenges to not just to parents alone, but even to the children and parenting as it were. However, to navigate this century successfully, any parent or intending parents have to understand some unique characteristics of this generation. First, this generation, they are digital native. Every parent must have that one at the back of their mind. This generation, internet is their playing hub, is their social hub. As a matter of fact, is their business hub. So as a parent, when you see them flipping through their phone 24/7, do not jump into conclusion that it is yahoo yahoo. It might be a legit business they are doing. And this generation too, because they have so much information at their fingertip, information overload, they are, how do I put it? They're pragmatic in nature. Let me put it that way. They are pragmatic. They have short attention span, and not only that, that they have short attention span. This generation also, they are so much concerned about their mental well-being. They believe in collaboration, and not only that, They have a global view of issues. That is why you could see a child in Lagos talking about Asia as if she has been there. Meanwhile, they have never. But at the top of the screen, they have the information available for them. So parents must understand all of this so that they will be able to relate with them very well.
I'm talking about parents understanding all of this because you have listed a lot of themes, and this will lead me to my next question. And what are some of the biggest challenges that parents are facing? Because remember that these parents, those who are parents today, were raised in the old-fashioned way, and they were raised and they grew up knowing how their parents raised them, and are also trying to raise their children that way. But since we have found ourselves in the 21st century now, the parenting, what do I say? The process has changed.
Exactly.
So what are some of the challenges that parents of today are facing?
Like I had mentioned earlier, it is balancing work life with time. I mean, balancing work and life. Yes, balancing it is actually very, very challenging for parents. They don't actually, because of the economic situation, they have to cater for the need. They don't actually seem to have this time out there. But however, there's always a window. It does not have to be in the quantity of the time or the length of the time, but the quality. So these parents of this generation must be well informed. Part of what we are doing now, they can listen to talks like this. They can network with other parents. They can network with other professionals. They can follow reputable parenting coach. They follow their blogs and then follow their podcasts so that they can be abreast of the trend in parenting. And then knowing fully well that parenting is a journey. It is not one time of a thing. So they must exercise patience with this generation. They should be patient and constantly having a open conversation. Open communication is very, very key. Don't assume they know it. Don't assume. Permit me to quickly chip in this, that every child, every teenager, every youth have 5 basic fundamental needs which every parent must strive to meet. And what is that? Number 1 is that every child, every teenager, they're looking for someone to believe. They're looking for a role model. They're looking for someone to believe. They're looking for something to believe. Something to believe. They're looking for values. If we parents, if we are this generation, if we are not intentional in teaching them, if we are not deliberate in teaching them, they will go elsewhere. That's where the issue of peer pressure comes in. We can see the video that is trending lately of a school where teenagers finish after writing their exam, they start smoking, they were unable to. So we have to be intentional, open conversation. We have to listen to them. I was trying to say that they are looking for something to believe. If we are not there, they will go look for it elsewhere. They are looking for a place to belong. Every child in this generation, they're looking for a place to belong, an environment where they can thrive seamlessly. They're looking for a peaceful home when the home is not peaceful. Anyway, to the glory of God, I've been a classroom teacher for over 3 decades. We see a lot in the school. You see some children, they come to school, they don't want to go back home because the home front is not comfortable, it's not peaceful. The father is this way and then. Apart from that, every child is looking for something. I've said something to believe, somewhere, someone to believe.
A place to belong.
A place to belong. They're looking for something to become. They want to become something. Don't let us say that child is not serious. Parents also have to know that it's not all about academics, reading and writing. Not every child can thrive in the 4 walls of the classroom. It's my son. They have to use their fingers, their hands, acquisition of skill. So they're looking for something to become. And then every child is looking for somewhere to express themselves. They're looking for freedom. They want a place where they can talk without being judged. They have everyone looking for a place where they can talk without being condemned. That is why in most cases you find them running to their peers, because they know that, oh, my friend is giving them listening. So parents too of this generation, if you don't want your child to run out to their peer group, if you don't want the social media to be the one to teach them, you must be available to listen to them. Every parent must know that the first classroom is there. The home. And that is why the adage in my language tells us that charity begins at home.
This is 21st Century Parenting Masterclass. So I hope that parents are taking note of everything that we are discussing here today. Now, let's talk about culture. Do you think that our culture, because when you look at the moral decadence in the society today, values, people no longer have values. No one is instilling these values anymore in these young ones. And would you say that because of technology, the internet, the social media, this has also negatively impacted our value for culture, our moral values, and how it is also affecting parenting and influencing the children?
Okay, thank you, Joy, for that question of changes in our values and our culture. I know a lot of parents who argue with me with these statements that they want to make. That do you actually know that most of this problem emanates from home? It's just because parents, we are not doing what we're supposed to do. We are not. I remember in our days when we were growing up, and even, I don't know, the television, we have time for folk tales. In the folk tales, they teach us, they use stories to teach us moral. Between me and you, when last did we do that for our children? When last did we? This is a way of passing on our culture. And even this day, when we want to thank God for schools this day, that we do cultural day just to promote our culture. Even during the cultural day, I can still tell you that you will see some children coming into the school in their shirts and trousers. Some even when the Yorubas, the Igbos, some they can tie their wrappers very well. They can. We are not passing on this legacy. If we check out the wardrobe of our children, when last did we intentionally buy them native dresses, native attire, coming to even our food? But when you talk about culture, culture is a total way of life. Even when you talk about our food, when last did we give our children our local dish? We would rather take them to eatery where they will take, continental dishes. It is we parents, it is our fault. We have to be intentional. We have to deliberately teach our children. And by our action and inaction, you'll find out that we are even the one that is trying to put our culture into extinction. Look, in some homes, we can't even speak our native languages. We rather want to, speak English, which ought not to be true. So we are the parents. I will still go back to the fact that the first classroom is the home. We are the one to teach these children, deliberately telling them about our culture, deliberately telling them about our values, and not just telling them. When I was talking about the unique nature of this generation, I told you that they are pragmatic, they are practical people. Don't tell them, and this is the way you should do it. They have to see you modeling that which you are telling them to do. You're telling them about our culture. When last you yourself as their parents, when last do you put on our local? That's just an aspect of it. When last did you put on our local attire? And then, how do you model empathy? Do you model kindness? Do you model integrity? Do you model forgiveness? Do you model it to your domestic workers, your children? Do they see you? How do you talk to your maid? How do you talk to your drivers? Do they see you doing it? What about your spouse? For any parent, you want your children to love you, you want your children to have respect for you, not just respect for you, you want your children to have respect for their neighbors. You must model it in the way you relate with your spouse. Do they see you? What about your neighbors? How do you treat them? So all of this, after teaching them deliberately about our culture and about our values, we need to model it. They need to see us doing it. It is by children naturally are like sponges. Our sponges are a small aquatic aquatic creature that absorbs whatever is in their environment. That is the nature of children. And the teenagers, the youth, whatever you want to tell them, you must also model it.
The key word here is model it. The kind of whatever you want to see in your children, you have to model it.
Yes.
And that will go back to intentional parenting.
Key.
We cannot talk about parenting and not discuss discipline.
Very, very key.
And so, some people strongly believe in strict authoritarian kind of discipline, while others will say no, gentle parenting, or we were abused by our parents. And I also want to look at how this has, the ripple effect, how it has also impacted on the kind or the quality of young people that we have today. Do you think that, you said you have been in the teaching industry for 3 decades.
Yeah.
Do you think that strict authoritative parenting style is the way of gentle parenting?
I will not agree or subscribe to authoritarian kind of parenting style. I rather go for authoritative one, a positive one, where we don't just place the boundaries. Tell me the reason. In our days when your parents say, oh, you can't leave that place, you dare not query them and say, Mom, why do you want me to leave that place? So we have to
the children of that days will ask you why.
No, I call them why generation because if you say don't do this, they will have, Mom, why do you think? Even in the class, they will ask you, oh, teacher, Miss YK, why do you think we should not do it that way? Like I said, patience is required in this generation, and then you have to explain to them. Don't just set the boundary. Don't just set the rules. Let them know why. Oh, it is before you confiscate that gadget, before you confiscate that phone, ensure you have a conversation with the child. Emma, you're staying too long on the screen. You need your mental well-being. If you stay too long on the screen, it will affect your sleep. You have a sleep disorder. And when you have a sleep disorder and you get to class the following day, you might not be able to learn very well. So always have conversation before the discipline. And then when you talk about discipline, like I said, I've been a teacher for over 3 decades, and incidentally in the primary school, nursery and primary school setting, is that the children ask. So I want to use my layman language that I always tell them when it comes to discipline. Discipline is the conscious training of the mind to do the right thing. It is not about beating, it's not about hitting, it's not about slapping, it's not about shouting, it's not about screaming. No, it is not. It is a conscious one, intentionally. Dan, you want to do this? Bring them, even when you want to set the rules and the boundaries, let them be involved. Okay? We want to create a tech-free family time. Okay, when do you think we can do that? Or which time do you think we should feast for that? Okay, anybody that is not available during tech-free family time, what should be done? What should we do for that person? Let them be involved. And anyone that breaks the rule that they will be the one to tell you also, okay, if you're not available during tech-free family time, or you did not drop your phone, okay, what do you think we should do to the person? They will be the one. So when that time comes, they will even be the one saying, oh, teacher, she did this, she did. And we have said anybody that breaks the rule, this is what we are going to carry them along. Let them be involved. Authoritarian kind of parenting does not work in this generation. I always serve to the glory of God. I'm also a preacher. I go to places to talk to people about parenting. I've seen people arguing with me that the word of God tells us train up a child,
the way
the way
you
you
should
should
go
go,
when
and
he's old,
so
you
they will
don't
not
depart
depart
from
from
it.
it.
Spare the rod, spoil
And
the
so
child. Use the rod of correction,
so,
for you
and
will
that
deliver his
madness,
soul
no
from
madness,
destruction.
no madness is placed in the heart of
Foolishness
his
is in the
child.
bosom of a child. With a rod of correction,
that
you will
will
save
drive
his soul
it.
from destruction.
Oh God, the word of God has not changed. It is still the same. But you said something. The process has changed. Really, how I want to train my child the way he should go, I have to model it. In our days, you dare not ask question. You won't even try it. You dare not ask question. So for this generation, when they ask you question, you just have to explain to them the reason why you're taking that decision. So I pray God will help us. That's all I have to say.
That's it's a very solid prayer. But again, let's also talk about still on training and discipline. Now, in the days of old, it takes a community. They say it takes a community it takes a village to raise a child. And then, even while I was growing up, I can't mess up in the community because someone will say, I'll tell your daddy, I'm going to tell your mommy, But now, everyone is doing a mind my business. You can't even speak to your neighbor's child if your neighbor is misbehaving.
Even as a teacher.
You cannot. Because even when you do, the mother can come and say, what right do you have to correct my child? It is my child and I know how I want to raise my child. So how is this also having a negative impact on the kind of children we have today?
Surely it's having a serious negative impact and influence. But it starts from you and it starts from me. We have to go back to that days of community parenting. It helps us a lot. I can't remember when I was growing up, you dare not come home and report your teacher. My teacher did this. Oh no, my mom would say, so that means you went to school to disgrace your family. So you won't even try it coming home. And when I was growing, when I was having my children too, none of my children can come home and report their teachers, because I will let you know, do you know the sacrifices that this teacher is even putting in place? All of what they are doing is for your own good. Where am I going? It has to start from you and start from me. When I was divining my parenting, I was about saying that we must go back to this collaborative or joint effort, cooperate, joint. Team up with your spouse. You can even in some home there is division.
Yeah.
The daddy will say up, the mother will say down. Team up with your spouse, team up with the teachers, team up with the educator, team up with the caregivers, and at the same time, you see these days, the process has changed. When you want to correct, you have to do it lovingly. That is just the
anger.
Yes, the issue is that most of us, we still want to be using that, what do I call it? We are in digital age, the opposite of digital. Oh, help me out. The opposite of digital.
What's it called now? The analog.
Okay, you still want to be using that analog method to raise digital children. It doesn't work that way. This day, you must not be authoritative. You have to do it lovingly.
But again, for those who are mothers of toddlers, is there still need to spank a bit in the butt when they are out of line? Because I believe in spanking.
Oh, no, don't overdo it, or else the child gets used to it. It's not too much spanking, actually hardening the child. It's not more than spanking, it's not more than beating. So that's the end of it. So, but the way out is that those little children, they can actually hear. Your child, you're breastfeeding a child, and the child we often say the child is biting. It's not biting. The gum is itching the child, and the child is just trying to soothe himself. And then you spank the child, stop it! No. You can actually look into the eyes of the baby and tell the baby, no, don't do that. It's painful to mom. And you know what? If you're breastfeeding your child and your child is biting with the gum as it may be, and then you look into the eye of the child, the child too will look into your face. And do you know, children, they watch your expression. They know when you're serious and they know when you are playing. So if the child knows that you're serious, what I'm 100% sure. After all, we talk to babies inside the womb. Oh, come on, baby girl. No, don't move that way. Adjust yourself. And you will see sanity coming into the system. It's not all about beating. They can actually hear.
So
Dialogue, conversation. Very, very key. Patient, not tit for tat. Permit me to chip in this. When I had my I have teenagers. When I have one of the teenagers, I just discovered there was a time we are at loggerhead. Giddy, all the time. We're always fighting and screaming at each other, do it this way. No, mommy, you can't tell me to do it. This is the way I'm going to do it. But at a stage, thank God for talk and like this. And I got to know that, no, teenagers are not really rebellious. We are the ones that do not understand them. And I became calmer. One day it just occurred to me that, for over like 2 or 3 months, we've not been having fighting this. And I called, I said, you have really changed. We don't fight again. He said, Mom, did I change? No.
It's you.
It's you that changed. That was sent some signals down my spine.
You know, you just touched on something that I still want to ride on that and ask. So how do you advise parents struggling with children who reject their values?
It requires...
Because teenagers, like you said now, there's teenagers that are not difficult.
Seemingly rebellious, if you don't understand them. They are not. The fact is that, like I said, be patient with them. Have conversation. Parents of nowadays, you know, that we have that premonitions that teenagers are rebellious. It is already stuck into our. So consciously and unconsciously, when we are relating with them, we come to them with this mindset. And like I told you, children of nowadays, they are very, very expressive. So when you give it back to them, they give it back to you. That is your seed. But when you're patient with them and you make them see the reason, let's get off that old cap, that old idea, that old mentality that it is my child, it is what I want that you must do. No, you will actually get it. That is just it. That's just it.
So for parents who are listening and are seeking to turn new leaf, trying to better their communication or try to close the communication gap between them and their teenagers now, what are the steps that you would advise that they take?
Yes, take that bold step. Have conversation with that child. Call that child. Initially, it's not going to happen overnight. They must have that one. Initially, I'm like, Mom, I hope Mommy is not up to something. This one that she's all over me recently. But where consistency is very key. No child can resist love in the long run. If you don't give up, if you are consistent, you keep talking and you keep modeling that which you want to see. You don't want your child to be aggressive. Don't be aggressive. Don't be aggressive to your neighbor. Even while we are driving, you're driving and then one downfall guy wants to like eat you. You stretch your neck and start cursing, and your child is inside the car. You know, indirectly, you're just modeling that negative behavior. Be patient, have conversation. It's not going to happen overnight. You have it at the back of your mind that parenting is a journey. And above all, I always emphasize this, the importance of prayer in parenting. You see, when you do all of the conversation, all of the patience, if you don't back it up with prayer, to me, I see it as a navigating the sea or the air without a compass. So the prayer is a compass. We must pray and commit them into the hand of the Almighty God, because there are so many interference out there. With all of this put in place, I guess we can change the narrative and the narration of parenting in this generation.
Finally, to advise again to some parents will still not buy into everything that we have said today.
Okay.
They will believe it's the old-time religion way of parenting, the way our mothers raised us. You know, what would you also have to say to them? And then for those who are raising children in this generation, what advice again do you have?
Okay, like I've said earlier on, parents of this generation must come to realize that technology has come to say, AI has come to say, whatever, how do I put it, has come to say, internet has come to say. They must realize that one. Then they must also realize the fact that this generation have certain unique characteristics. Understanding this basic characteristic, like we have mentioned, will also help them to navigate and relate with them. They should exercise patience. They should seek professional help if need be. Asking for help is not a bad idea. Seek for help from professional. Seek counsel from older parents that have passed through. Permit me to use this word, prayerfully seek counsel from older parents, because it's not actually everybody you can discuss your child's issue with. Seek counsel, be patient. I'm 100% sure that at the end of it all, you will laugh last. God will help us.
A lot has been said today. We're talking about 21st century parenting and challenges. And you have mentioned patience, like I've lost count of how many times
very
you've mentioned
key.
the word patience.
Very
so a lot
key.
of things that I have learned today, parents need to be patient with their children in this dispensation.
Yes, conversation.
Model your parenting.
Yes.
A lot of things that you have said. And you also I would like you also to repeat the 5 points you raised again for those who missed it, so you do not miss it. The 5 points you raised. Someone to believe.
Someone to believe, a role model, something to believe, the value, something to become, talking about skill, somewhere to belong. Somewhere to belong. They're looking for a safe haven, comfortable, and they're looking for somewhere to express themselves without being judged or without being condemned. And why they don't actually open up to us is that we will condemn them, we will judge them, we won't even allow them to learn because I know where you are going, and they are also afraid. Why they don't open up? Especially when they experience cyberbullying or they have issue online, is because they are afraid we will confiscate their gadgets. So we should be patient and let them feel that, oh, I'm here for you. If there's any issue outside, you can always come back. We can work it out. We can talk about it.
Just to lead me, let me just ask this question. How important is it for parents to ensure that there is a safe space for their children, even though they mess up? How important is it for you
very
let
important.
your child understand that even if you mess up, when you come back home, I'll take you back in?
Important. Very, very important. In fact, the importance of this cannot be overemphasized. You should create that confidence, and it starts literally too from home. We have seen a child sent on an errand, misplace the money, and decide to run away and say, hey, my mother will kill me. And I always, when we talk about this, creating confidence in children, I always use this biblical illustration of the prodigal son. We all know the story. He went, squandered the money. Can you even imagine? You still have the confidence. That means they have a relationship. That's, oh no, how we arise and go back to my mom. We have to be loving and show affection to our children. Speak their love languages. Let them know that mommy or daddy loves me. And with all of this put in place, like I said, we can change the narration.
Oh, yes.
The Lord will help us.
Let's quickly get your Lagos experience. So, were you born in Lagos, and where are you from?
Okay. I was born, bred, butter, bake, and can in Ekpe local government area of Lagos State. I had my primary school, my secondary school education. And then from there I proceeded to Lagos State College of Education, that's Ijanikins, to have my NC before I went to some other institution. So I've been staying in Lagos right from birth.
Okay, let's talk about how Ekpe has developed over the years. Let's talk about it. How was it like growing up and the things that we have here today?
The difference is clear. Like when we were growing up, we don't actually have institutions like there is a village very close to Ekpe, Noforija. We have Lagos State College of Primary Education, or Lagos State University of Education, and we also have Lagos State University right in the town of Ekpe. We have some other interesting places like Chief That Ship is a market where you get fresh fish.
Yeah.
So, and then we also have our festive period, the Kaya Kayo festival. Ekpa is a sweet place to be. And thanks to, oh no, I'm on here, let me know, say thanks to our past governors, they've been so wonderful in helping us with the construction of our road. Oh my God.
All right, thank you
Wonderful.
so much, Dr. Olayinka Okubote, for sharing your insight on 21st century parenting and challenges.
Thank you very much.
I must say again, she has said a lot on this topic. We thank you again for sharing.
Thank you for having me. Yes, okay.
The conversation continues after this. Stay with us.